Hi guys, thanks for taking a look at me second video. So the last video I talked about was actually really quite personal, and it was talking about my history of mental health and the way that I have presented my condition over the years and the way that it's interacted with me and my life. And now what I want to start talking about is almost doing a daily blog, a weekly blog, talking about how coronavirus has started to impact us. So, the first time that I started to hear about coronavirus was in January of this year. My wife works at the hospital and she had started working longer hours and she'd been really busy, and she started talking about this new virus that we need to be careful of. At first, I didn't really grasp the magnitude of it, and then one day Linda come home from work and she was just in tears. She was really upset. Which isn't like Linda, she's the tough one. And she'd just had a really bad day. So I said, well, don't worry, we'll book a holiday. We needed a holiday because we'd not had one for an awful long time on our own. So we decided to book somewhere and we went to Cape Verde. Now, when we went to Cape Verde, this was in February, there was none of this preconceived ideas about having a holiday impacted by coronavirus. It was a little bit surreal. Like, we got to the airport and the people on the check-in desks were wearing masks. Really, really strange thing to see. It was almost like SARS and bird flu again. And to be perfectly honest, me and Linda, we almost didn't mock them, but we commented with rolling eyes saying, look at them, aren't they being silly? Why are they wearing them? We didn't understand how serious this was. And then when we come back from holiday, we were effectively off grid while we were on holiday. So we hadn't seen the news, we hadn't connected with anybody through social media, and we'd stayed away from all that. And we come back, and Italy had announced that they'd become a red zone, and all of a sudden, it was real. I had a friend who was going to Italy on holiday, on a skiing holiday, and it was surreal, the thought that he may not be able to go on his holiday because of this new virus, this disease, whatever you want to call it. And that's what happened. So in the space of a week, we'd been sat on the beach, been back in the UK, my friend had had his holiday cancelled, and it was starting to get scary. And then I thought, we're due to go to Germany on our holiday with the children. It was going to be our annual family holiday. And all of a sudden, that was at threat. And we didn't know what to do. And that's what you started to feel, is anxiety. You start to worry. It's a feeling, I've tried to explain it to somebody. It's a feeling almost like an elastic band being tightened around your middle. And then all of a sudden somebody adds another elastic band and another elastic band. 2 or 3 elastic bands you can put up with. But when you start to add more and more, you start to feel really uncomfortable. And at that point, you're going to pop. So I was in the kitchen, coming back to not last week, the week before. I was in the kitchen at home, and for no reason whatsoever, I think I'd just been out for a run, and I come back, I'm in tears, floods of tears, absolutely no reason or explanation other than anxiety related to coronavirus. It scared me. And I went to work the next day and I was like a jittery, nervous wreck. And for the days that ensued after that, you start to follow the news, and then more news, and you're watching it, and before we knew it, within 3 or 4 days from that day when I cried and got myself really upset, the country's in lockdown. And it's the most surreal experience ever. So I am fortunate in that I've still got a job that I can get to safely. So work have made accommodations and put us onto shifts. So some people are working in the morning, some people are working in the afternoon, which means that I can safely go to work. Other than going to work, I'm staying at home. And this is what it's like for millions of people in the country, millions of families. Imagine what it's like for people that are in a flat in North London where they've got eight people all living in this space. And it just makes me upset. It makes me think makes me feel guilty that I have got a small garden to go out with, and I can let my dog run free. My children can kick the ball around in the garden. It makes me feel guilty that other people can't, which then causes more anxiety. And that's the daily thing living with this coronavirus. And the daily news, I've had to stop watching it because I was watching it every day, and it was becoming the focal point. It was almost, you spent your day waiting to see what was going to be said next, waiting to see what Boris was going to announce. And it just got worse and worse, more and more people getting sick. And now Boris is sick. Now, anybody who knows me, any of my friends who know me, know that I'm as left-wing as you get. But I don't want to see anybody being poorly. I don't want to see Boris doing bad. And to be fair, he's behaving like a true leader at the minute, and he's behaving brilliantly. And that's one of the good things that's keeping me and the country afloat, is the fact that we've got Boris at the helm leading us like a leader should. But it doesn't stir away from the anxiety that eats you alive, the depression where you get sad because you're not able to go outside. So 2 days ago, I should have been going on my family holiday. Really sad, really depressed about it, and quite upset. And all of a sudden, I find myself stuck inside a house, going to work for a few hours a day. I don't watch TV, so there's nothing to do. There's no football on TV, where I'd usually go and watch football at night. I can't do that. So I'm having to find other ways to keep myself entertained. I'm reading like there's no tomorrow, and that's a tip that I'd give somebody. Find something, do some research, find a subject that you're interested in, start to dig around it, start to inquire how you might be able to do it. So the thing that's kept me going the past few days was I decided, right, I'm going to do something with my garden. My garden is an overgrown mess, and it's been like that for 12 months since I bought my house. And I decided, actually, I'm going to get on top of it. So I've cut down 10 trees. I just went out one night and just with the loppers and just started lopping. And before I knew it, I'd got a big 6-foot high pile that stretched all the way across the garden of trees. I didn't have a clue what I was going to do with them. I just knew I'd got to do something to keep me busy. And that's the thing, is keeping you busy. Because when you're not busy, your mind starts to wander. So let me tell you what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to get up. I've got it planned out in my head. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go for a run. 7:30, maybe 7:45. But I'm going to go for a run early doors. Then I'll come back, do some more work in the garden. And then after I finish doing some work in the garden, I'll go to work for 6 hours. I'm on reduced hours shifts. And then I'll come back and I'll read have something to eat, and then go to bed. And I'm just focusing one day at a time. So tomorrow's focus: run, garden, work, read, and a bit of food. And that's how I'm getting through it. If anybody's got any questions, get in touch with me. Pass them on to Sam or one of the support people from Inspire Fitness Academy, and I'll answer them as honestly as I can. And I hope that you're all doing okay at home, and look after yourself, guys. Stay safe.